Hey guys, Gary Lucas with Obsidian Painting here. So there's a couple things I want to talk about today, and the first one is my other computer kind of died a little bit. It kind of fell and hit the ground. Didn't really go so well. And it's a laptop, so yeah. Anyways, I dug up one of my older laptops. It's not a Mac. This is a some kind of Toshiba running Vista, and but this gives me an opportunity to bring back my LifeCam Cinema, just to see if I can get it working the way I originally wanted it to work, as opposed to trying to get this camera I bought working. Even though the camera is fine, I just wanted to see, because this is quicker. So anyways, so the things I wanted to talk about today is I'm going to show you guys how I do this kind of weathering. I think it's pretty cool looking. This is a Vindicator for a client. It's magnetized, so it can be a rhino as well. And essentially, I'm going to show you guys how I do this here. It's essentially making this color this, and it's kind of like quite a dramatic kind of thing. But yeah, and also the client, this is kind of what it's going to end up looking like. Hopefully you approve. If you don't, just let me know and I'll change it a little bit. I did some pretty cool stuff, I think, with the decals. That's a decal, by the way. You'll see those all over the place. I'm still kind of not done this side. I need to do a little bit more weathering up here. And, like, yeah, this going on. And there's the dozer blade. And then all the rhino bits, like, yeah, this. Some more doors. This thing. As I said, they're not done. I even magnetized the searchlights, or not the searchlights, but just the lights. You can see there's these little metal pieces. They'll just clip on, and the metal pieces are on both that and also on the regular chassis. So if you wanted to go rhino mode, you could. And also, before I get into painting this, this guy, I have finished, well, not finished, but almost finished, the painting tutorial on him. And I'm actually going to be giving this to Marnius for his YouTube project. Now, I just have to finish up the cloth here and do some lettering, some word thingamabobs, but otherwise the tutorial on how to paint him is pretty much done. I also have to do, I'm going to do a freehand symbol there for the Storm Warden chapter, and his shoulder pad fell off. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I do is I take a brush. Doesn't really matter. I buy those packs that you can buy at like Walmart of like 20 brushes for like $3 or whatever it is. And I get also, you get big brushes, you get tiny brushes, you get soft brushes, you get hard brushes. I just buy those and use those brushes for stuff like this. This I think is one of them. I really don't care though. It's just a brush. So and all my other brushes kind of are now hard, because I don't wash them. I don't care. I do their purpose, chuck them, buy another set. So I'm going to use this, and it doesn't really matter what kind of brush you use. This is an angled, but you just want something with a nice bristle, not too soft, and you don't want something like this. You don't. This is like straw almost. You don't want that. You want something like this. Okay. And the first thing I did was I base coated this Ean Dark Sun, and then I gave it a wash of B-Style Brown and wiped off the excess, so that way you only see a little bit of the B-Style Brown there. Okay? And then I painted these bullgum metal. There's your desert yellow. Dip it in the brush, and this is how you dry brush. So you're going to take this, you're going to dip the brush in it, and then you're going to essentially wipe off the excess. Okay? Then you're going to take your piece, and you're just going to, I suppose, brush just lightly near the bottom. Okay, I'm going to bring it up to about midway. You'll be able to kind of see what that did. It's very light. The desert yellow dry brush doesn't really do a lot. It just kind of slightly darkens the surface for the beginning here. Gives you kind of like an area of where we're going to dry brush. So you can kind of see that. So here we go. So you're just gonna go across the surface, just gently. If you push too hard, you'll rip paint up. Okay, so you can start seeing that there's a nice kind of brownish color forming. And you want it, I'm bringing it up about halfway. Right, so you can start seeing that the color is really coming out. Right, so that's what you get. Now, throwing in scorched brown, you have to be careful because this is a really strong dark color. Right, as you see, it's a really dark brown. It's even a little reddish, which is good because the reddish, it fits in with the B-style brown kind of wash we did earlier. Right, and you really just want to start from the bottom. And there's a little piece of something. It's either chipped or that's just a piece of decal. It's a piece of decal. Okay, excellent. And so we're going to start at the bottom and kind of wiggle our way up. Alright, so you see that? See, that's a really nice kind of color to add to the yellow. You're just going to wiggle your way up. Yeah. Look at that. It's beautiful. That is beautiful. Yeah. So how I do the chipping is I have two brushes I'm going to use. I'm just going to take a bog standard brush and I'm going to use scorched brown. Okay, and you just want to dip it in the scorched brown. And then you're going to find the spots where you want to add chips. And I'm going to first do all these bullet holes. I'm just going to fill it with a little bit of scorched brown. Okay, and then the next is you want to actually add chipping. So because there's all these like cracks in the decal, I'm going to add some there. Some here. Separate brushes for my metallic paints and separate water pots. And, the thing's broken. I gotta actually buy some more. So you just dip it in. I'm just using Bulk ML. You can use whatever your favorite metallic paint is. And you're just gonna go over the chips in a metallic color, but you want to leave a slight outline if you can. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. And there's really doesn't really matter if you go outside what you made, because it doesn't really matter. It's your mini. You can look however the hell you want. There, see, look at that. Excellent. So now we're gonna add kind of like a rust stain almost. So to do that, I'm just gonna take B-style brown, which is the color I washed with a while back for the yellow, but you didn't see that, but that's okay. So B-style brown, and grab some out of there, throw it on my palette. Grab some water. Yeah, there we go. So you just want it thin. Thin enough that when you spread it, you can see it, it's not covering it, but it's leaving kind of like a good, like, that's what it should look like. Right here, we're just gonna bring it down, just like this. If you can, make like a small line, like like that, kind of. Just kind of have fun with it. I love weathering, cause like, especially if you've like blended something really well, there's nothing cooler than just messing it up with some weathering. And you're just going to keep going over till you get the kind of look you want. So we're going to tone everything down a little bit by adding a black wash. Now I take essentially Badab Black and I thin it down. I add a lot of water to it. There's water in there. And I only do that once I get to near the end of the pot. You're just going to take your brush and you're going to just kind of go over all the metally bits. And kind of like a thin glaze almost. I'm even gonna get down here just because I'm a weirdo. See, it's just kind of like a glaze almost. Sit that down, let it dry. Bob's your uncle.